All right, guys, what's going on? This is your boy Liger, one half and duo, and this is a cast, and this is pre-recorded. So
Spur of the moment.
yeah, it's pre-recorded. So yes, so you've seen it, recorded before. So no links to join in or nothing. Okay, pre-recorded. All right, but there's some topics I want to bring up in this cast, and of course I have Triple M with me, so to go through some of this stuff. So let me see. Let's go with the hard hitting stuff first, then we taper down to certain other things. All right. So first of all, I want to talk about you know what, Trip. Let's go to race stuff first. Okay, so let's go. So right now, they're trying to look. Everybody knows about this, and if you're new to the channel, because again, I'm getting a lot of new people, understand this. Parents are not being parents no more. Okay, that's just that is the answer. But I also
Wow.
had a video a long time ago, and Trip could back me up on this. When I was saying when people were talking about the whole gambling stuff, I said you do not want the government in the gaming. You don't. You do
Oh
not.
no.
You give them power to get in there. They're gonna do stuff. Now back in the '90s, just for comparing, not transparency, I should say, really, but not really. But like in the '90s, it was coming from the Republicans. Now it's coming from the Democrats. Funny how all this thing switches around, whatever. So both parties are full of crap. Okay, so this is a bipartisan flashing of politicians. You don't want them in it. Okay, you don't. So, um, Chip, go. We're gonna be playing this this video from the news about this. Illinois is trying to make the ban Grand Theft Auto.
Oh my gosh. Is Jack Thompson's back?
I rather take Jack Thompson. At least his arguments are make at least kind of logical sense in some cases. Not all, but at least he's not Google nuts like these people who are now. So go ahead and play Trip. I'll match you.
Alrighty. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
In just the last few
In
days,
just the
three
last few
teens have been
days, three
arrested.
teens have been arrested for carjackings in Chicago. People have been saying for months now that teens are running around the city and carjacking people like it's a video game.
But now local lawmakers are doubling down on that idea, saying that video games should be banned.
Tia Ewing has more.
The carjacking suspects aren't even old enough to drive.
To survive, they have to set up and pull off a series of increasingly audacious heists.
Philanthropist Early Walker says violent video games like Grand Theft Auto could be influencing their young minds.
There are instances in the game where an individual pulls up to a car, bumps the car, taps the car, gets out, pulls the individual out of the car, carjacks the car, pulls off.
Walker met with Illinois State Representative Marcus Evans in January, and from there, legislation was drafted to amend a 2012 law preventing some games, including Grand Theft Auto, from being sold to children in Illinois.
The House Bill 3531
Pause.
ban.
You already had a law that these kids should
Yeah.
get it, and it didn't work. And it didn't work because the parents bought the games for the freaking kids, and it didn't work. And this ain't gonna work either.
Either. Because it's basically the same thing.
Same thing. GameStop, no, how much? Go through all YouTube, all the gamers who say I used to work at GameStop, and they're like, "Yo, I'm not gonna sell this game to kids," and then you got to show this all that stuff, and some of the stores on the manager say, "Hey, it's a sale or whatever." Still, it's against
Where's
the
your
law.
ID?
Yeah.
It's like, I remember a time that you literally have to show just show that you have an identification as in of age when buying
A
I
mature
think
game,
yes, a mature game.
and it still is. The law is still there. And how do these kids still get it? Parents.
Well, by the parents, or at least they have some friends that are of age that can buy it for them.
Or
Still,
not right. And also, as a parent, you should know what your kids are playing. Sorry, that's my thing. Mm-mm.
I'm not gonna apologize for that. You're a parent. You should do this.
I know what. Like I said, I raised KD, my sister, my young sister. My mom know what games you're playing, and she's not a gamer. My mom, of course, she's in her 60s.
So,
She
you,
didn't care about no that.
you know, same here. My mother was actually keeping an eye on me on what type of games I'm playing.
Exactly. And I know what kind of
And
games
we
my
even
sister
and,
was gaming.
and even to a certain extent that my mother would have a discussion with me about what I'm playing. Stuff that I'm playing you shouldn't do that in real life. And even though I might have been young, just a young lad, but still I knew better.
But even that, but okay, but let's put it in this way too. But let's put it in super context. Let's be honest, because that's what I am. The games that we were playing when we were growing up are nothing like the games we were playing. These kids are having now. Just to be honest, just let you go. So
Yeah,
parents didn't
right.
like Trip's mom went the extra mile. My mom did not went that far. She know what I was playing, but she didn't care too much. And most of the games that she was buying anyway, or I could have bought, was basically no more than T-rated games.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. I didn't buy no mature. I did not buy no more mature games back in the 90s because I don't know if there was a lot of them, and if there were, I would have. The only mature game they had was Mortal Kombat, and that was not in my house. Just to tell you the truth, it was not in my house. I mean, on a serious note, I mean, okay, I want to give me a second there, Chip. I want to check something out. Out.
Actually, I do remember.
Not
I
Mortal
bought.
Kombat. Go
I
ahead.
do remember. I borrowed a Mortal Kombat game for the 64.
Okay, there you go. I definitely say Mortal Kombat. I know Mortal Kombat is what started the whole trend of being and the NSAB, the ESRB, and all that stuff. So I know that. So I know Mortal Kombat. Did I play it? Yes, I'm at a friend's house. And again, that also is a way to do it. So my point to do it, but that's not the triggering factor for these kids to go out there go do violence or go carjack. It's stupid. It's because the parents are not taking watching the damn kids. One, but I want to check something here. Let me see. Because like I said, honestly, see, 007.
Oh,
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye.
What was that back in
97, 98.
No, yeah, 7. Oops, I pressed the wrong thing.
So I guess I've played that game almost to the point that
No, I
it
know.
got to shreds.
I just want to
Yeah.
see what it was rated for. That's all I wanted to see.
It was rated for teens.
Teens. Okay, so teens was the only thing I had. Really, Smash was teens. This was teens. Yeah. So I just want to make sure. This law ain't doing nothing. It's not going to stop these kids. And there's a reason why this has been an upkeep, but nobody want to talk about it. You there? You still there, Trip?
Oh yes, I'm still here.
All right, continue the video.
All right.
These video games send a message.
Different versions of Grand Theft Auto have been banned or censored in 5 different countries.
I want to prefix this that yes, I remember. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago that Australia basically banned. GTA 5, but I digress.
Yeah, they did. Again, because people are not parents, but whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah.
In the United States. This past Friday, a former police officer was carjacked in his own driveway in the south suburbs. The car was later found in Harvey with the young suspect still in it.
They don't care. They feel they're going to get right back out, especially a juvenile.
An expert told us the game can be the violence.
Yes, that's the problem. Because remember, these were the same young kids who did the riots last year, and y'all let them go when you got them. That literally is why the carjacking is up, because because you guys want to let them be free or whatever, and the riots was like that last year. That's why these little bastards are doing this as well too.
And defund all the police, eh?
And defund the police. That's a smart move. I gotta say this, Vince, the retired officer. I got a question for you. Excuse me. I got a question for you. How the frig did they jack your car? 1, your door had to be unlocked. 2, the key had to be in there.
Yeah.
These little kids, you think these little kids are splicing wires and all that stuff?
Yeah, Yeah, I would be freaking surprised if they knew how to hotwire a vehicle, and especially in this day and age, which is more
They're
electronically
difficult.
based.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Something ain't right here. My spider sense feels bullshit. It senses bullshit. How? Why would it? How would it take your car? You left your keys in your car. That's the only thing that makes sense. These kids are not splicing no cars to do this stuff. They're not. Hell, my car is a simple car. It's not no fancy spancy car, nothing like that. But my car is a simple car, Nissan Sentra. And you cut certain wires without this transponder, which is not in the car, is inside of my house. And of course, I have a garage and everything. But just say if it's out there popped up, you ain't going nowhere. The car will disable. And that's a $23,000 car. You look like you had. Let me. You're not gonna do a trip. You keep what you did. I want to go back. I want to zoom back a little bit on to see.
Yeah,
That's a Hyundai, and I can't see
Yep.
the SUV. It looks more like a Dodge, a Dodge Durango or something like that. I mean, these kind of cars are like $40,000-$50,000. Nah, no, something ain't right. Something ain't right.
Yep.
Something ain't right. But rewind back a little bit so we can hear his whole thing without us interrupting. Rewind back a little bit, Trip, and play his whole from that. Okay.
All right, see.
5 different countries, but never in the United States. This past Friday, a former police officer was carjacked in his own driveway in the south suburbs. The car was later found in Harvey with the young suspect still in it.
They don't care. They feel they're going to get right back out, especially juveniles.
An expert told us the gang can be the cause of violence, but it isn't the only factor.
Should it be banned? I think so. However, there's probably lots of reasons for theft and lots of reasons for violence.
Tia Ewing, Fox 32 News.
Now,
we did reach out to the makers of Grand Theft Auto. Rockstar Games never responded to our request.
Because it was a stupid request. It's not needed. It's dumb.
Yeah,
I was like, that.
Yeah, I was like, that person was saying that there's other reasons, and I'm like, okay, in my mind I was like, okay, tell us the other reasons. Nope, they just stick with Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm like, really? But I shouldn't be surprised.
Well, he might have told them, but remember, they edit stuff. And do not give me the nonsense of Fox or nothing. This is ABC, NBC. I mean, all news media do this bull crap. All. So it ain't a Fox thing. Because I know a lot of people always, it's Fox. Why would I believe them? ABC and CNN, all these do the exact same thing too. I've seen it. Don't have me this. News media doesn't know crap about nothing. They just want to
ratings, ratings.
Thank you. Merchandising. So let's not pretend that nonsense. Okay? So with that said, yeah, this ain't gonna do nothing. And again, the reason why these kids feel that way, officer, because you guys weren't arresting them last year when you had the damn riots, which you should arrest them. But you didn't. You arrested them and you let them back out. I'm sorry. The greatest way to learn forward is to have consequences. You have to learn.
I'm like, isn't there any more detention centers anymore?
Well, there's prisons, but there ain't no detention centers. Well,
there's some juvie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's funny, lawmaker, because again, I can guarantee I could find a clip of that same guy saying, go ahead, do this for all the stuff last year, because for certain thing, which we're not going to bring up personally, but basically they let the rioters go. Some of these lawmakers were letting people who destroy people's houses, cars, businesses, whatever, free.
Literally paid for their bail.
Yeah. So I don't want to hear that. That's why the costs go up. And let me get this straight. You worried about a carjacking now? What happened to all the black kids that was getting killed last year and the year before and the year before and the year before and the year before? Back in 2012, there was a little boy, Tyshawn Lee, got shot 7 times in his chest. He didn't do nothing, but he got shot same execution style. What about that? We didn't go find out what happened to that young boy. Just stop this nonsense. This ain't doing nothing. Parents ain't doing nothing to stop their video games. I only want to bring this up because again, they correct all the laws, just like the Sandy Hook, and also the one down in Florida or whatever that name of the school. No matter what laws, even to the president right now, no matter what laws they say, oh, this would have prevented. That was a lie. It would never prevent it. It would never prevent what happened.
Look, I could have give you a little bit. You said might slow down this this happening, but nope.
Nope, people forget about human nature. That's why on my radio show I talk about human nature. People you forget that for some weird reason. I don't know why. So, anyway, we digress from that. I'm gonna let you play another little thing about this. But again, I'm not surprised. And you wait until 2000. Game came out 2013. You wait up till now to ban it, please. It's not gonna stop nothing. These little bastards are gonna go out there and jack cars still. And again, I'm suspect about that because again, do not leave the key in your car. How they drive, I don't get that. They're not hot riding these cars. So you left the door open and you're laying the key in the car. That's the only way. Which is again,
at least have the key in the ignition, or not even turning off the engine.
Some cars don't do that. No, I mean, if the engine was on, that's a different story. But some cars, like my car, I don't have an ignition. I got to push a button. As long as the key's in the car itself, is gonna start.
Right. Well, I meant, the conventional means.
Well, like I said, it goes back to what you were saying. Most cars right now are not like that. That's why I say it's even harder to jack cars now, and it gotta be that you left the key in the car. And I'll admit to this. So I'll admit to this. In my garage, yeah, my doors are not locked. Sometimes I do left the key in the car, but it's inside a garage that's locked, and I also got surveillance on it. Now I don't need it that much where I'm at right now, where I live in, but because I came from a house where people were doing the house before, they were doing some bullshit around the neighborhood. Yeah, I kept that as one of my lessons, many lessons I would teach people. Smart man learn from mistake. Wise man learn from other people's mistakes.
Yep.
So they were doing stuff to people's cars. I said, you know what? I'm going to learn from what other people didn't learn. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yep.
So, with that said, we're going on to this another video. Chip is gonna play. I'm gonna audio. You'll hear it because this is funny to me. This audio is funny to me. I still have not done the video, and I'm gonna try to do it when I get it. Do it. I'm gonna do it right now, but I'm just doing it because this is more of a talking point in itself. But my goodness, last year I did a game. I did a thing called Game Life, and I gave everybody good points, and I'm like, I feel in the vibe. This is before the PS5 and the Xbox X, whatever the Xbox series came out. Well, I was being optimistic. If you go back and watch the series on the channel, I was being optimistic.
Yep.
Nope. Why was I doing that? Reality came back and said, "Come on, like, what are you doing? Stop that! Stop it! You should know better. You've seen this stuff many times before. Yes, to Dragon Sword 15 or Dragon Sword. Yes, I might not be in the industry as much as I was back then. Here's the thing, though. I could pick up on patterns pretty quickly, though. Always been one of my strengths. And after seeing the shitstorm that PlayStation 5 had and the Xbox Series launching with barely any games and whatever, even the Switch, I'll beat them all. I showed a video about the Switch beating all consoles, the 7th gen, the 8th gen, and the 9th gen consoles combined throughout the year last year. That's crazy. So this is why I said we have already got games that's already lost souls. Like they don't have no soul to them. So Trip is gonna play something that you guys can hear. Again, analyst talking about video games and how it is, and she proves well, not me. I mean, prove us Trip, but it literally proves me right what I was saying all the time. But Trip, take it away.
Gotcha. This might take a bit longer because it's going to start right in the middle of the video, which
That's all right. It's all right.
let's take it back a bit.
Yeah, this is not the video show. So we're good.
Yep, here we go.
There, I'm Alana, and today we are talking about why publishers announce release dates for video games too early. And that is a really common thing that I got into a conversation on Twitter about yesterday, and I have spoken about before on this channel, but I think a lot of people really don't understand in terms of the process.
Yes.
She's gonna get into it, but you've heard me say that multiple times. The publishers, like I said, the developers in some cases, but the publishers don't care. I mean, you could go again. Now that I got to 1,000 subs and all that stuff, you could go back to the first endcast and I talked about this. The publishers do not care. They got their shareholders and they're gonna make their money. They don't care if the game is busted or broken. Now that we know that they can fix the game patches afterwards, they don't care. And I've said, and we saw that with she's gonna bring up with Cyberpunk 2077, which was trash. Same thing with Fallout 76.
Fallout 76.
Trash. Okay, for the people who like those games, good for you. I'm not calling you that. I'm calling the game that because it's trash. It was broken, buggy piece of mess that didn't want to happen and whatever. And it's still
and as I said, it came out as it was not advertised.
Again, just let me talk about cars. If a car came out and it doesn't start, or it goes down the road and it cuts off on you, you will be angry as pissed as hell, and you go right back to the dealer. Hell, you might sue the dealer. But we can't do this crap to games because a lot of gamers just consumers. They just suck everything up. They're not customers. They don't think, hey, this is crap. I'm not buying this. Just like if Phoenix Mortal Rising, I was looking forward to buy the game. Then I was like, oh, you got deals. Oh, not 1, not 2, but 3. And you no, I'm not buying this game. You're gonna have an end of the year version of this game, or this game will come on in price. I'm not buying this game.
Or Game of the Year edition.
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy this game. So yeah, people enjoy it. Good for you enjoying it. I don't like that kind of practice like that. Just, you know what? No, you could have done that a certain way, but hey, everybody does it the same way. Anyway, go ahead.
On a side note, this YouTuber was actually she used to work at IGN, so food for thought right there.
Yes, yeah.
But let's go.
Kind of as soon as you understand it, it will make a lot more sense for every time that you want to have this conversation going forward, essentially. With me over here, this over here. So this is a tweet thread that went up yesterday from my friend Paris, who is wonderful, absolutely knows his stuff. So Paris's tweet says, "Dear game publishers, we are starting to see a pattern of brilliant ideas never truly realized due to rushed game development. Let's stop making promises of release dates. It's okay to delay, and more importantly, it's okay to allow your developers to have a proper work-life balance." I 100% agree with this tweet. Literally all of it. I think directing this to game publishers is the correct thing to do rather than devs. And while I did reply to this tweet, I feel like I was more replying to the people in Paris's replies rather than Paris himself, because this tweet, we 100% on board. So what I said here was, while I totally agree / would prefer this, in a lot of cases, these choices are made more so as a result of pressure from shareholders or the stock market, which is very, very hard to circumnavigate. The biggest takeaway, and this is a generalized statement, but is true for a pretty significant number of publishers, is that in a lot of cases, you are not the customer. People playing the games are not customers. The gamers are not the people that are actually being sold the product. The stock market is. The shareholders are. So if you read the replies to my tweet here, this one I didn't even see, and this is a really great example. Would stock markets and shareholders rather risk a failed game and making no money than making it polished and making it more successful and making money. The truth is that in most cases, a failed game, as he calls it here, isn't actually directly related to an unsuccessful game. So often games that are broken or rushed still make a lot of money because people pre-order games or buy them day one, which means that it's kind of constantly reinforcing to the industry that the quality of the product doesn't necessarily matter. Of course it does in a lot of ways for a lot of publishers in terms of reputation, but where the stock market is concerned, this doesn't matter at all. People in this tweet thread brought up Cyberpunk.
Yes.
She's gonna bring Cyberpunk. That's what I've said multiple times on multiple videos, and also, yeah, that's look. I'll help you. I'll help people out with this. Nintendo games. Yes, I pre-order Nintendo games. I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. I pre-order Nintendo games, but they have a true, proven track record. They've been in gaming for more than they're gonna be on 40 years now. Nintendo been doing this thing. 40 years. And their track record has go ahead.
I would say more than 40 years, but I digress.
Well, I'm talking about in a game console situation.
Ah, right.
I'm not talking in that arcade. I'm not talking about the normal Nintendo itself, the company. I'm talking in the game.
No, wait, yes, that's exactly 40 years. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, remember 35 Zelda they just celebrated Zelda's 35 50th.
Yes.
Thing. So yeah. So that's what I said. I remember Mario's 35 as well too. They did that, for this thing too. So we got that's what I'm saying. Yes. Anyway, I follow that. Now here's so that's one. Two. I'm gonna give you some games that I have pre-ordered. From last year itself. The only game I pre-ordered last year itself that I could tell you that I bought. Oh hell, I don't think I bought any. Let me see. Did I bought? No, I didn't buy no games day one except I have pre-ordered. Yeah, I would pre-ordered this. The only game I pre-ordered, which was not a major game, whatever, was Sakura Rise of Ruin. Something that the dev team those two guys showed good stuff. I was with it. I see the videos. I'm thinking, okay, I'll take a chance. I pre-ordered that to get the special package and all that stuff. Other than that, I bought everything after the fact.
Yeah, I would say with me, the only let's go during the GameCube days. That was the console I bought. I got my father to buy me very early on with Luigi's Mansion. Couldn't get Smash Brothers, but I digress. The one game that I think I actually did buy day one was Skyward Sword.
On GameCube? Or
No,
Wii?
that was for the Wii. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So you said GameCube first. So sorry.
And that's and that one was on the American soil. So
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I pre-ordered Skyward Sword. I'm not gonna lie. If you're gonna go back, I pre-ordered. But again, I just said Nintendo. I literally just said Nintendo. I'm not gonna say I'm not. I have pre-ordered that. I didn't pre-order Pokemon. I didn't pre-order Sword and Shield. I got the double pack. I just saw the double pack and said, okay, hey, one for me, one for my sister. I bought it. I didn't pre-order it. I just bought it. Now, and again, it is still a Nintendo thing. Fire Emblem the Heroes thing, I doubled that because I wanted that Zelda, the same thing. I did the exact same thing to that. Mario 3D Bowser's and stuff this year. I have that. I did pre-order Mario 3D World and Bowser because I wanted to get that. Oh no! I did pre-order another game last year. Again, I gotta be telling the truth, which was Mario 3D All Stars. I did did get that for you. I did not pre-order Zelda Age of Calamity, but I did have it because I got the game like a day after it came. So I didn't get it day one, whatever. Because I knew it was gonna be a bunch of that game. And it was nothing special about that game that made me think, let me get it. Like a Fire Emblem House, I got the music, the art book, all that stuff. Like, I like that. I want to go with that. but I didn't have it this time. So it's like, you know what? No, I'm not that. So it's like, okay. But Mario 3D Bowser, yes, I got that. Hell, I just picked up Persona 5 Strikers, which I want to talk about it. Persona 5 Strikers. I went to Target and I bought it. Now, here's the funny thing about this. I gotta talk about the side trip to cut the video or whatever.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
I went. They said they had 3 copies of the game left at Target right where I work at. I'm like, okay, hey, you know what? Whatever. I'll go and pick it up. Just go and pick it up. Game came on Tuesday. I picked it up Friday. I went there, and I'll tell you this: Mario 3D Bowser, that game, it was gone. And this is not. I should have took a picture of it. Target in my area. Every Target could be different. I'm just saying. But most Targets that I've seen, they have like a sales part, right? A sale, like at the end of the aisle, there's a sales part where you see the newest games. They do it for PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo. They have it there. Then then you go down that aisle. There's a longer aisle with more games behind it. I wonder if I could behind it. I wonder if I could find a picture of let me see, just to see if it's so I could show it on the screen to see what so people can see what I'm talking about.
Searching.
Yeah, that is not what I'm looking for. Target. I'm searching. I mean, I have a little bit of it, but not the way I want it to show. Let's see. Not game. Let's go video game. I mean, that's what I did. I did just game aisle. The video game aisle. Okay, this is close enough. It's not really great, but at least you could kind of see what I was talking about. Kind of. It's not the best, but I'll take it. Actually, this is one of the things I hate Google for.
Close enough, but close, but no cigar.
Close enough, but no cigar. So I'll share it so you guys can see. Okay. So basically, when you see the screen right here, they'll have a sales. They will have a sales stuff right on this up front. That's case, and then you go down the side. They got a video games. That's what they do. So I went into the Target. They said they had 3 games. I went in there. They didn't have nothing up here. Even though they had a tag for Persona Strikers. I went down the thing, and most of it they have a case, and you go behind the case. The lady looked for it. She couldn't find none. She basically, except for the game that's in the case up front. So she gave me that game. Here's the thing I wanted to point out though. Mario Browser had like 3 slots at the beginning, at the top. And then they had 2 slots in the side part. 3 World Mario Bowser. And here's the extra. I'm gonna add to it. They had that. That game was sold out. There. At the sales end. Down the aisle, so no games. And then they had a cardboard, a big ass cardboard with the games all there. And that was also sold out. So they had to have at least 100 copies of Mario 3 Bowser Fury. At least, and every one of them was gone. And even the lady was saying, yeah, man, the Nintendo Switch games be selling like crazy. Every time we get a new game that comes out, she's like, it's gone. I'm surprised this one's still here. Because I know, she's like, yeah, the game came out Tuesday. I know this game came out Tuesday. And it sold like crazy too. I'm like, geez. I'm telling you, March is around the corner. Them numbers, boy. Them numbers.
They'll be going up.
And you guys could come back and you will hear me do my financial about Nintendo's financial as usual. Anyway, but going back to the topic at hand, like that lady said, They don't care about that stuff. Now that they know that they go patch the stuff later on, whatever, they don't care. And games that you think should have failed, Fallout 76, Cyber 2077, some majority of EA games, they still sell because people, half of these people want to do it for YouTube. The YouTube influencers don't care if the game is broken or whatever. They play the game, they get their jokes, their laughter, and other people listen to them, and they basically document these other kids and other people just so they could get clicks and stuff. That's one
just
part.
For the content, man.
Just for the content.
Gotta have the
One.
content.
Two, people just give bad information nowadays, and you don't go out and buy those games. Like I said, I'm not peer. No, I'll tell you this right now. Unless Metroid 4 has like music or something special that has to it, which again, that's what they do to get you in it. I'm not gonna deny it. I am not gonna deny it.
They got me with that with Skyward Sword. I just gotta get that CD.
Yeah, I'll admit to that. That's why they put the tchotchkes with the game. Not denying that at all. Well, again, for Skyward Sword, it was different. You also, if you get a special edition, you got the golden remote, which that's. Remote, the first remote that had a remote plus inside it. You didn't have to do the accessory, so that's one of the reasons I would pre-order that shit. Not gonna lie.
I wanted that, but that was too much out of my hands.
Got you. Hell, Sakura Rise of Ruin. I got music, art book, all this stuff like that. I love the music, and I would support people who make good games. Point taken. Good games, majority of the time you're gonna get a double dip from me if you do good games. So while I get Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, I bought it digitally, I bought it physical. Street of Rage, I got it physical and I got it digitally. Okay, it was a good game. I'm gonna support that. I'm not gonna support trashy games. I'm not doing that. So I'll let her continue. Go ahead, Trip. Let her play.
All righty.
Cyberpunk still sold tremendously well, even when you consider the refunds. It still made a hell of a lot of money. So to this question, the answer is no, because generally a game that is rushed or buggy will still make a lot of money, and sales will still reflect positively on the stock market. This question here is why do they need to hype games for so long? I feel like this is what sets up unrealistic expectations for gamers and investors. Do we really need to know 3 or 4 years in advance about a game being developed, get the game ready, then announce it and release not? No, you don't. That's the part that's right now, and then Nintendo is funding this for this thing as well too, because of damn gamers. No, we do not. I literally got a video called WTF. Go and watch that about the hype. That's what the hype has done. That's what the hype has done. Everybody's Nintendo, where's Breath of the Wild 2? You should have never. No, I blame Nintendo on that. They should have never let the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer out. Cause people
or even Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, I know why they did it, but no. Keep your mouth shut until you got within a year of the game. Seriously. If you could produce a game within that year, that's when you should reveal it. Now, if you're gonna do a Kickstarter stuff, I don't count you. I do not count you. That's a different story. It's a different story. You do what you got to do. But the other stuff, no. We should not know about the Breath of the Wild maybe 2 before it. We shouldn't. We should have never known about Metro Prime 4, like you said. We should have never known about Bayonetta 3. No More Heroes. No More Heroes, that trailer that we working on No More Heroes 3 should have came out last year when they released No More Heroes 1 and 2 on the Switch. That would have been a perfect time to release that trailer, to be honest with you. Instead of having people looking like, where's the game? Where's the game? Where's the game? As Trip would say to Reggie Fils-Aimé, gamers are in. What Reggie say again? I'll let you say it because you know it.
Yeah. In immortal words of Reggie Fils-Aimé, gamers are insatiable.
Exactly, and they're consumers. Give me. Give me products so I can buy more product, even though the product I want has never been satisfied with.
I mean, as much as some of these YouTubers, including me, were basically calling out this other YouTuber who came up with the phrase, just stop complaining, just buy the product so we can make more products. I'm like, in a way, he has a point, because guess what? Like you said, Liger, gamers are basically having that mentality.
Yep. And that's why failed games, the games that should be failed and wiped away and should not be made again, makes money. And people don't, and they don't care. And they're like, all right, these gamers are stupid. Let's just make another buggy game. Oh, the game is coming out. We'll release it. We're gonna do whatever. They should not do it. And I'm again listening to be careful for people who always just who are not listening because they don't listen to what I said. I also blame Nintendo with this too. Okay.
Yep.
They should have not released Bayonetta 3. They should have never showed up. And if it's not within the year, or if you release it this year and you're going to say it's coming out next year, as we're going to talk about, then that makes sense.
I'm
Pokemon game they're talking about, let's hope they don't get pushed back. But I will, like I said, that should, unless you're going to release it next year early, like you said, that's good. If you're not, that's bad. I don't care what company it is. I do not care what company it is. They should not do it because you are hyping up people for bull crap.
Because I would say this, I would have expected ever since with the whole Breath of the Wild ordeal, they might have learned from that.
Yeah, sure, okay.
I guess I expect too much.
But again, it is Zelda. It's like I said, every Zelda game from since Wind Waker that I know of, that's what I used to track it the most. Always had a delay. Wind Waker had a delay.
Actually, you can put Ocarina of Time as well, because that was delayed too.
But like I said, that I know of. I mean, I did not know. I played Ocarina of Time when it came out. I didn't look forward to it. I didn't care about it like that. That was my first Zelda, was Ocarina of Time. So I didn't know about it.
At that time, I didn't know either until I, went back and researched. But that's just me.
Yeah, but I mean, again, Majora's Mask came out with a year later. Okay, then whatever. Then Wind Waker was supposed to come. It got pushed back. Skyward Sword. I mean, Twilight Princess game. It got pushed back. Skyward Sword pushed back. Breath of the Wild pushed back. So it's just, and Breath of the Wild 2 gonna be pushed back. It always happens. So that one doesn't puzzle me. One. And two, again, I listed off a couple games that's on the Nintendo system exclusively, and they should have never been announced either. Bayonetta 3, No More Heroes, Metro Prime 4. It should have never been announced at the time. It's too far ahead. You want to keep interest, blah, blah, blah. They do that for the stock prices. No, they should not do that. Again, Nintendo's not publicly owned all the way. They have a public option, but it's not as big as they still own 80% of their company, which is good. Not like others who are fully in it and all that stuff, like you see. So yeah. And this is one point I do agree with Jim Sterling on that with the whole the Chromio part. I don't agree with Jim Sterling a lot of stuff, but this is one I do agree with him on that. That when you got to do with the stock price and stuff, there's a reason why these CEOs make hundreds of millions of dollars for what reason I don't know. They should not, but because the stock price is a buyout option and stuff like that, that's why they make the money. It sucks, it literally does, but that's what it is. And I do not agree with his solution of having a union. That ain't gonna do shit. That is not gonna do shit.
That's just gonna make it worse.
It's gonna make it worse. You can say all I want. It's gonna make it worse. It just is. But I digress. Let's continue, Trip.
That simple, again, not how the stock market works. In a lot of cases, to prove something to your investors, you need to be marketing it and actively marketing it for them to have something to invest in. And then they care about release dates because they care about return of investment. So, to the general public, it's like, why are you announcing me this release date before you know? And that's because the release date in a lot of cases is not actually for the general public. In a lot of cases, they care about that for the stock market because the investors want to know when they will get their return. Investors do not look at something and go, oh, is this game going to be good in this timeline. They go, when am I going to make back or increase the money that I have put into this? It doesn't matter if it's good. What does matter is microtransactions. Obviously, a lot of publicly traded companies having microtransactions, for sure. But there are a million other things that come into play. So do you really need to know 3 or 4 years in advance about a game being developed? No, you do not need to. But there could be pressure from shareholders or investors or the stock market in general to have more things on offer than your competitor, to have more things currently in development than your competitor, and to know when they're going to come out so that people know when the sales are likely to come through. Because, again, gamers always buy shit day one. We're in the habit of doing that. This idea of get the game ready and then announce it and release not long after only works if you're not a publicly traded company. Private companies can get away with doing that. The platforms can get away with doing that too, because from my understanding, they function pretty significantly differently to your third-party publishers. But what you're asking for here is for the stock market to not exist. Again, I'm sure we'd love it. We would love to have a game ready and polished and good to go and then be announced and come out 6 months later. I feel like Bethesda kind of was doing a good job of that for a while back in the day. But for the most part, this just isn't how business works, because business wants to know exactly what they're investing in and exactly when they will get their money back. Again, it's not for gamers. It's for the stock market. This is one that I felt like I had to clarify clearly on this tweet thread. Nathan Wall said, I don't understand why they would push so hard for a release date without a finished game. Surely they can market and build interest without a release date. Again, logically, it makes sense. I get why people think that. But the truth is, as I said here, the stock market doesn't care about building interest or marketing. If it cares about that in a small sense, I could elaborate on that. That is the most restrictive way of looking at that. And, you know, I really could expand on this, but I just want to kind of focus on this one point.
And yes. That's why that GameStop thing happened. That's what happened. And you know what? I have to say this. Nobody's talking about this. I might bring it up on my radio show trip, you know, but I thought about GameStop did that last week. They did a short sale again. So the freaking pieces of crap hedge funds, they were losing their shirt. They lost $17 billion. They called for the government. I can't remember who's in charge of the government now. So the people with their stupidity. They asked for the government to stop that. The government got in, stopped the sales of that stuff. People lose their money. And then you know what? They came back last week and did the exact same thing just to make their fucking money back. That is disgusting. That's why that's what I said. You do not want government inside of gaming. That is disgusting. They're like, okay, we did a short sale. Oh shit. The people figure out this shit and they're hurting our money. Government, come save us. All right. You can buy stocks, but you can sell stocks. What kind of bullshit is that? And then, of course, because you do that, people start selling their stocks, and then some people lost a lot of money. That sucks. But then they came 3 weeks later, and the one hedge fund lost power, and another one hedge fund lost power, and what was it? And Robinhood lost a lot of his power as well too, the trader app. But then they came back 3 weeks later. The other hedge funds came back and said, you know what? Fuck them. We're going to do this again. Now that we have the government looking at this. And they did it. And they short sale the GameStop stocks. And a lot of people lost a lot of money in that one. Because they thought, they're doing this again. They thought the same people who started this is doing this again. No, it was the hedge funds that was doing it. And they made it money. And that's just slimy. The stock market, those people are slimy bastards.
So that's not free market anymore.
That's never been free market. That was not free market at all. That is literally crony capitalism. When you have somebody you have the government that's powerful enough to get in there and do stuff like that. So that's the part about that.
And one-sided, mind you.
Just don't remind me. Do not remind me. But it's true. But anyway, continue.
I'm sure there are a lot of more sort of biz dev sided videos that could elaborate on it in a more impactful way, whereas I am just trying to keep this real one track. But they ultimately don't care about marketing. They don't care about your interest. They don't care about PR. It doesn't care about how good a game is. It just cares about when it is going to make money off of the investment, return of investment. So that's why, as I said here, a release.
I can't help. I can't help it. I can't help it. You ain't gonna hear it, Chip. I can't help it. I gotta play my money clip from the radio show. I gotta play my money clip. You hear what she said? They don't care about money. Now this is political. This is from a radio show. But the clip, listen to what the guy said, because all it's about money. This is what
I just want my money.
Exactly. So listen to this clip. That used from the show.
It's getting somebody to unlock the door on the inside and let you in, as opposed to breaking in.
Okay, fair enough. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, but yeah, and the other thing, so you're the sort of person that has this power and you don't want to use it to mess with the election?
I want money.
You threw out a tweet from Donald Trump on election day?
That won't get me money.
Early in the morning?
But I want money.
That's true. It wouldn't get you money, but man, you could have an effect on the election.
I don't want an effect. I want money.
Exactly what that clip is. All I want is money.
You know what?
That's it.
You know what? You should have another clip of Joe Pesci going. Joe Pesci was yeah, probably Joe Pesci going. Yeah, I love money, but you know what I love more? Other people's money.
I know, right? or the one from the other one with but I can't play because that's about taxes. But it's the other one with the little girl's like, "Thanks for taking my money, a-hole."
Oh,
but that's all it is. It's all about the money. They don't care about your stuff. So if you want to be a customer, you should wisely. That's why I said, if I see a game that does good, I'm gonna double dip. Including if a game like an indie game or whatever. I have Samurai Jack. That's another game. Samurai Jack. I got it digitally. You know what I'm doing? I'm buying it physically too because the game was good and it put heart into the game. I would always give the people who do good stuff rewards, and I won't buy your shitty games and your shitty practices. Okay, just ain't. And the sad part about it is, to be honest, again, listen to me carefully. Nintendo's also going down this route as well. Okay, I'm not. If they start doing stuff like that, I will call them out. Just like with the Joy-Con stuff, like I said. When people tell me, "Oh, you screwed the Joy-Con, Griff." No, I did not. You don't listen.
Never
to what
did
I said.
that.
I call people out for that nonsense. All right, so just let it go ahead, Trip.
Release date equals specified date of sales equals return. It isn't about marketing and building interest. Obviously, marketing does matter and it does play into the stock market in some ways too. One significant point is that as soon as you start marketing something, you are spending money on it. Investors want to know when they're getting that money back from that marketing. So there is a kind of a short window there from when you should start marketing something to when it comes out. Things get delayed. Sometimes it is more beneficial, like I said, to have a broader thing in a portfolio of a publisher than to not. Things do change depending on what competitors in that market are doing. But generally, just to be very reductive, none of this shit matters. All that matters is when they get their money back. This one I found really interesting. It's coming from Bradley because it's a thing that once you know it and you've watched a video like this, I feel like you can look at everything a little bit differently and frankly more accurately. Bradley said, activist funds taking stakes in game publishers and meddling in dev level operations. I think by activist he probably meant investor. Highly doubt it.
He meant no. He meant he meant activists. He meant activists.
Yes.
Your Sarkeesian and all that other BS bull crap to change the damn game. That's what he's talking about.
Or to change the bloody meaning.
That too.
I digress.
Would love to see which ones. So the truth is, are investor funds taking stakes in game publishers and meddling in dev level operations? Dev level operations, technically no. It could influence things like microtransactions because you are proving that the thing that you are currently spending money on will have an ongoing return for a really long time without continued expense. And that's kind of the thing about microtransactions, is that they continue to provide money without the developers needing to invest the same amount of money as they did initially or spend the same amount of money as they did initially. But outside of that, are investors meddling in dev level operations? No. They don't generally have that kind of control.
Yes, they do. She's wrong. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. If they see that this is going to cause a lot of headaches and stuff, they're going to try to tell them, hey, we're not going to give you an investment if you're going to change the male character to a female or a transgender or all that crap. That has happened. So she's wrong about this. She's dead wrong about that.
I'm like, anyone remember about Sony? The whole censorship stuff, even though it's on their platform.
And Sony censorship is getting people always talk about Nintendo. Hey, Nintendo's always been a family-friendly company, so I don't give them problem for that because it's their game. And here's the thing too: Sony, if it's their game, I don't care either. That's their game. But for all you people who are like, oh, they're getting heavy on their censorship now. How you like it now, huh?
And that is, and not just on their game from their own studio. Nope, even third-party publishers, which I'm like, okay, that's a little bit too much, Sony.
But whatever. But what she just said, her first part, yes. Second part, she's wrong. They can't.
Also, let's not forget about EA and that Battlefield fiasco.
Oh yes,
that's
exactly.
Also an example.
Exactly. Well, hell, not even that. Look what happened to some indie games go through that same nonsense too, and they were like, if you didn't buy a game because you just use it as sexist, no, your game was trash. Stop. Your game was trash. But anyway, keeps it going, sir.
Righto.
But do funds take stakes in game publishers? Absolutely. Like it is all they do. It's all they care about. He said, highly doubt it. If they are, would love to see which ones. It's literally every single publicly traded publisher. I think it's like very wise for anyone who is interested in this side of the games industry to look up which publishers are publicly traded, because then all of their actions will make more sense to you. And it is easier to remember, I am not the customer. The stock market is the customer.
True.
Again, generalizing, but for the most part, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Well, she's correct.
Especially for third-party publishers. He said, not sure which other shareholders have enough power to influence development decisions. The stock market has 100% of influence over a business.
I'm like, any business that is openly traded, publicly traded, that is more than 50%. Yeah, you can bet.
Even up to 45%.
Okay, let's go. 45%. Yes, no doubts.
Mm-hmm.
It's like almost all of it. Like so much influence over business decisions in every industry. Like it's wild. And I'm kind of hoping that making this video around the timing of all the stuff that went down with Reddit and the GameStop stocks, maybe people will kind of be more open to learning about this side of it, because it's something that I feel like I share a lot, but I never see the sentiment really pick up in the general public. So yeah, in response to this one, I said,
because I've been talking about this. You're right, because I've been talking about this since 2014. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I don't.
I have been consistent about saying this stuff since 2014. This is 2021 right now.
Yeah, and I'm like, ever since you brought that up in your first video, I start looking at the investors meetings, mainly Nintendo's, and I'm like, yeah, I can see this going on.
Yeah, but the problem with that too is, but here's the thing: if you know the knowledge of this stuff, you see people. Okay, let's be honest with that before we go forward, because we know how this problem turned out. Look, if like how the NX thing kicked off of me now, turned out to be stupid. Then Nintendo never remember. They never announced the NX to people. It was to the investors. It was people looking at the meeting and turning into this crazy shit. All right? So I don't blame Nintendo on that one, because they weren't talking to us. Which makes sense. 1, 2. If you're going in there looking for information just for that other, look, I have been consistently doing the end of the year numbers and stuff some of the times, most of the end of the year, but I've done a couple of times like mid and everything. You go back and check my because remember, this is the first time me and you ever did a Trip did a podcast together was on Nintendo's financials. Literally.
Yes.
So I've been doing this for a long time. Here's the thing though. I know what to look for and whatever, but I don't care about what the problem is. Some of the information is not for the public. It was for investors, for people who invest in it. 1, 2. I do not read into what are gonna come up next and all that stuff too much. You got games coming. That's all great. That's all good. That's awesome. It was funny when I went to Japan and I came back, and I told people Nintendo have 7 years worth of games. 2015, 7 year worth of games they have. Right now, at 2015 until next year, basically they've been showing games constantly, like I've said. But I didn't tell you what type of games. I didn't tell you whatever because there's so much development happening on in the studios. I was like, yeah, okay, they have stuff coming. Not my point to do that. And 3, when I break down the stuff, the financial stuff, I break down what's profit, what's this, what's that. A lot of these guys you see do this same thing. And remember, they weren't doing this at the beginning when we were doing the trip. When I did it with you, and you won't hear no YouTubers talking about this stuff.
It was like about a year or 2 later. Then I'm like, IGN start doing it. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm seeing where this is going.
Yeah. Thank you. And also, another thing too, again, I've said it multiple times, go back to the first endcast or the second one. Basically, it's flipped up the way how my playlist has got messed up by YouTube. But go back to the first endcast. Who was talking about crunch? Me.
You did.
What anybody was. I talked about crunch with EA when I said, I don't want to go there because it's crazy. Crunch time is horrible, blah, blah, blah. Now you hear people talking about crunch. I talk about crunch. I talk about the financial stuff way before majority of people on YouTube. That's why, you know what? Again, thank you guys for listening to my videos. Those who look at my videos, I know a lot of people listen to the music side of it, but those who listen to my analysis videos and everything and don't come with the nonsense, thank you. I really do. Thank you for that. Because I've shown consistency. So what she just said, I'd be saying before her, but you know what? It's not going to change nothing because people the gamers now are looking for clicks. They're looking for content, like you said, with the YouTubers and Twitches. The industry is all about money. Always has been. So let me not deny that back then it wasn't. It's all about that. Nintendo's all about money to it, whatever. But the product is getting less and less the focus. The product is getting more buggy, more broken, more don't have no soul. Technically speaking, sucking the soul out of games with microtransaction, and it's all about turning you into useful idiots or useful sheep, so you could keep on promoting the other stuff.
No, they're basically making players, air quotation. Oh crap! What's that word I'm looking for? Oh crap! Now I forgot the name of that. That machine that basically spits money on you.
Spits money. Oh, well, I mean, it's I don't know what you call it. I don't know if they had a money gun.
ATM machine. ATM machines.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Basically, yeah. I get what you're saying now. Okay. So yeah, but go ahead. Let's finish up the video.
Absolutely influences publisher decision making. There's a reason publishers have investor calls, and while journalists often report on them, they're for investors, not the public. That's something that I see the public get confused all the time too. They will take a quote from an investor call and spread it and think that it was said to the public. While investor calls are public, you can listen to the public. That is not actually who they are directed at. They are directed at investors. So some of the quotes will sound very strange because they are not directed to gamers. They are directed to investors. These are two separate groups, essentially. David here said, I mean, the problem lies in how much power the top has over development, considering how far removed they are from the process. They just see the numbers and tell management to get it done in accordance with the numbers. The realities of development be damned. While this is true, I think I told David, I would rephrase this sentence here. He said, the problem lies in how much power the top has over development, considering how far removed they are from the process, to the problem lies in how much power the business has over the business. If you're publicly traded, your job is to make money. Your job is not to make good video games. Even though there are a lot of people working at development studios who really want to do that, they are there to make the best product they possibly can. They are often extremely inspired by what they're working on. I'm certainly not removing any of that part of it. Those people, I'm sure, really believe in making a good product and really desperately want to. But the truth is, the business is a business. So it's not how much power the top has over the development process. It's how much power being a business has over the development progress. It's just the entire purpose of the company feeding itself, essentially. And that is essentially really what I'm trying to share here is just something that I shared on Twitter that I have made a video about in the past before. It's just that release dates are not often for you. They are not for gamers. So when it's confusing to you why something has been announced and then delayed, it's because it's not meant to make sense to you because it wasn't done for you. It was done for the investors who are actually the ones that all the money comes from. Or can actually change the amount of money they're getting, where gamers generally historically do buy everything on day one or pre-order things in the millions before they even need to buy it. So ultimately, your confusion about it just doesn't matter to them from a business perspective. They're really the only way that gamers can actually have a voice for a publicly traded company in a significantly impactful way is by not buying things.
Thank you.
Yeah, it becomes an odd cycle of how do you know you're not happy with
What else that you always say, Trip? Pause. What else I always say? Speak with your wallet.
Wallet, yeah.
That's a hashtag I created. We used to have the Google what's it Google Plus. We had Google Plus. That's what I used to say. But you
Yep.
I could go back. Speak with your wallet. Hashtag speak with your wallet. Do not buy, and that only works with gaming. That works with a lot of other stuff too.
Anything that's on the market.
Yeah. But speak with your wallet. Yep.
Hit them where it hurts. The dollar sign. Ching ching.
Exactly.
Very complicated. I would like to give a shout out to the Patient Gamers subreddit, just full of people who like wait before they play things. It's a good call in a lot of cases, but it's also games industry spends millions and millions and millions of dollars on marketing. It's not anyone's fault for believing marketing when it spends so much money on it. One positive thing that could come out of Cyberpunk stocks crashing, because it generally doesn't happen. Generally, if a game is received poorly, it doesn't matter to the stock market really at all. Like, it might matter for a week. Cyberpunk, the CDPR stocks actually did drop, which is actually very good for the rest of the industry, and I hope can actually make a difference, because now people who work on the dev level can go to their publisher and say, see, if we rush something, it actually does matter. We will lose money on stocks. I promise you, they're not showing up with a binder full of tweets and being like, see, but the gamers didn't like it, because publishers like, but they'll still buy it. Why would we care about that? That doesn't mean anything to us. But if they can take the binder of what happened with the stock market to the publisher and be like, hey, we don't want this to happen. This could happen. That would be very helpful. It's a positive for everyone in theory if that happens, because again, no amount of Twitter backlash or angry YouTube videos or Instagram comments has any impact on that in the grand scheme of things.
Thank you.
It's all the stock market, which is also a thing. I guess if you passionately care about video games, it is worth considering investing in companies that you feel are doing good things to support those good things. That is a better way to actually shape things than to just buy their video game.
I was thinking about that.
I hope this all makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. Alana, I will see you guys.
She's done. Okay, and for full disclosure, yeah, I have a couple stocks in including Nintendo. Have a couple stocks in some of them games. Okay.
I wish I could.
So I have that. It sucks that what she's saying right there is true, but the gamers they don't care. They don't care.
Yeah. Now here's the thing about this cyberpunk fiasco. I was actually on top of just about everything that was happening after the release date. Which one of the lawsuits that really did caught me off guard, because I did not expect it would happen, is it came from the stockholders or the shareholders themselves. So I'm like, wow. The individual that basically buys stocks from this publisher is also angry about this. Because come to realize they were basically been lied to as well. So I'm like, wow. So just hope that how bad this was gotten, that both sides are angry about the outcome. Let's see if it actually changes for the better. But
I have some high hopes.
I highly doubt, but hey, I hope I'm proven wrong, and I've been proven wrong before. Just I wish it was. I wish it was more of it, but
You've been proven wrong for me, because I know what it is. It's always gonna work. So
But this, I am not holding my breath. Just saying that.
Okay, well, hey, as long as you understand that, that's all I need to know.
Yep.
That's all I need to know. So, all right, so let's try to finish up whatever. I got 2 more things to talk about, and in case we had a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's talk about 2 more things, like I said, and finish it up. 1, okay, Trip was talking about this. So look, Pokemon Arceus or whatever it is, Legends, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Okay, looks cool. I'll wait to see when it comes out. I mean, if it's kind of like Pokemon Sword and Shield and more better with the whole wild thing that people are trying to say, all right, I'm down with it.
This is basically like I'm treating it the same way when Nintendo first, and I mean first, revealed Super Mario 3D World.
Okay.
Which I wasn't the many that were angry about the first trailer.
I got you. Well, like I said, I'm looking forward to see what this can do. But unlike other people who are doing all this analysis and all that stuff, most of those people, not even most, majority of them are fake. Talking about 30 frames, 60 frames, all that. Stop it. YouTube compresses videos 1 and 2 at the point of being this is an RPG with a turn-based. What the frick does it care at 30 frames per second compared to 60? It doesn't.
Thank you.
Just stop it. There's a trailer. It's announced. Let's wait until see what happened. The only part I will argue about is what I just talked about earlier in the video. If they don't push it between the early half of next year, then you could criticize them for that because I'm saying, don't Nintendo, Pokemon Company, stop doing this. Don't do that. If you want to release it within a year, okay. But other than that, don't push people to that nonsense. Don't.
Let's go to pre-orders that are out now. I'm like, why have pre-orders this early?
I know. Again, I didn't pre-order Sword and Shield. Like I said, I went to the store and picked that up. So y'all know that. Sword and Shield was a package. I saw it in Target. I picked it up. Hell, right now I went to like I said, just like I went to Persona 5 Strikers. Went there, see, pick it up. But don't get yourself in a tizzy. All right, unwad your panties, you people. Jeez, the game got announced. It looks good from what I've seen. I'll wait to see when it comes out to see what it is. Because here's the thing, Balderland or whatever that's supposed to come out coming at the end of this month with the 3D collectathon game kind of game. I didn't like it at the trailer, and I still don't like it with the demo. And if they're gonna release that game the way it is at this end of this next month, that's gonna be a bad game. I don't like the running animation in that. There's some games that have running animation that I criticize. Trials of Matter has that running animation that also made me like, I hate it. I'm not gonna lie with nobody, but the game is still a solid game. But seeing how all the costumes are not easy to flow, and all it has is one function, not multiple. And again, Mario has that too, but it's all in how you execute it. Again, Mario a good example. Mario, ice flower. Okay, he throws ice. He throws an ice flower to freeze this thing. Okay, he can freeze water, so he could do the jump off of the water. That's a good way of using it. It's one move, but he's doing multiple things. Or if he's on water, he can skate underwater. If he has an ice flower, it's literally the execution. That's what it is. And Baldur's Wonderland or whatever it's called doesn't look like it. And then I've seen people gameplay. I mean, I give a good example. Go to Nintendo's Life, and they talked about the demo, and they talk about the demo for a whole hour, and they showed what they were playing. I was like, yeah, nope. Sorry, respect to you, Mike, to the developer. This need a year more.
Yuji Naka, you were great with Sonic, and that was back in the heydays. Yeah.
This cake needs to go back in the oven. It's bad. It's not good. It's not good. So that one right there, that's all I would talk about. I mean, and I get you were saying, okay, seeing that diamond and pearl. You said whatever the name they give them for the pearl and diamond thing. You said that the what was it? You said the chubby. I mean,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the chibi um, um, look.
Okay, but when you take it from the out
But
from the game on the D on the game from the DS, it doesn't make no difference to me seeing it.
With the DS, I excused it because it was like what the one of the first or second time that they're going 3D, and plus was on a 3DS. So I'm like, they probably didn't get down with resource.
Give me a second.
I'm gonna say it good resource. So I was like, yeah, I excused that. So ever since the one the gens after it, I'm like, oh, they gotten a little closer to what I'd like, and even Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Eevee. So I thought they would at least go with that, but they didn't, and I can understand it's a artistic choice, not for me, but hey, I still can't go out my mind, as in crazy mind, and say just because it looks that way, this game is bad. No, I'm not going there.
Okay, I gotta see something, and you ain't gonna see it, but you might see it later on. But you can't see it. I'll just put this on the screen here. Because I want to see you, as you said there. I want to see. We know. Let me see. That's Sapphire. Okay, that's Sapphire. We have the connection. We have that. We know that sucked. I'm trying. What I'm looking at, what you can't see, is basically I'm looking over all the games and seeing when did they, if they, you said the Chibi, when they, because let's see, Diamond and Pearl. Okay, we see that. I'm seeing that now. And I'm trying to see what the, and they don't show the daggone thing, which is sucky. Let me see if they have anything. Because it looked like, I mean, if I can remember well, I don't remember all the way. I wish they just show all the, when they're walking around, because I thought when they walk around, they still had that kind of style. So
Was it black and white? I remember what was it?
I got you. I'm just looking at stuff and see.
I think they started that with Sun and Moon.
I think I found something that helped me out. Okay, so we know back that we Game Boy. I found something that's gonna help us out. It's playing on the screen right now, so I'm looking right now. Yes, all the, so we got the first gen, then we got the second gen. We still had the Chubby style. This is Ruby Sapphire. They still had it, and again, I understand you saying it because it's that. So it's trying to find. Okay, red green still had it. Still had that style. Fire green, red green. Let me see any more. Trying to figure it out here. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. So hot gold and silver, they still had it. So
Yep.
okay, this is black and white. No, they still had the chibi style. Big head, small body.
But is it as the form?
Okay, now you're getting super specific. You said chibi style, I'm doing chibi style. It's not as deformed, but it's still a big head, small body.
Okay,
Okay, I'm just telling you what I'm seeing on the screen, and people, everybody else will see it as well too. Let's
okay.
go
Let me
to
rephrase that.
X and Y. X and Y is when they changed it. So X and Y is when they changed it. So X and Y is when they change it. That's because that person walking around is more, yeah. The body's a little bit more, yeah. The body's a little bit that, a little more straightforward. Less chibi. Got a little bit of chibi in it, but not as much. Not as much.
Yeah.
Not as much. So X and Y is when he changed that.
Yes.
So I'm not kind of surprised. We know this is thing. So okay, just wanted to know that. Just wanted to know that. Just wanted to see. So X and Y is when they did that. Okay. Hey, here's what it is. So there you go. So they still have it. So I want to do one more thing on the before we call it a night, which is this. Okay. Okay. It just. I'll say this too. I'll give a negative to Persona 5 Strikers. I'll give a negative. I'll give a negative off the bat. Because they do something which I like. They do something which I like. I mean, they did something which is instead of giving you a music CD or whatever, they give you a app on the. They get an app on the on there. All right. Here's the thing. You have a soundtrack. You got an app. They could do soundtrack, and you could do the arts on the screen, which is kind of people want books to look at stuff, and then you could do behind the scenes. How the heck you don't have that soundtrack does not have all the songs? That's my negative, including the songs that make Persona 5. Never seen it coming. You ain't got that, and of course you shapeshifter, like those kind of songs, like they're not there. I'm like, how you can't have those songs? Those songs are what made that game. It's not in the soundtrack list for the when you get the download. I'm like, that is crazy. It's like playing Zelda and not having the Zelda's Lullaby or at least the Zelda theme. That's no.
Hey, I remember back in the day that I was searching for soundtracks for Ocarina of Time, and I've seen that the American version was just one disc and didn't have all of the tracks. And I'm like, huh? What is this? Then when I looked that there was a Japanese version of it, I'm like, it got all of it. I'm like, oh.
Yep.
America must be skimping on this.
Yep. Okay. One is this too. I'll tell you. So just give you this. I bought a game. I'm enjoying it to a degree. I'm not gonna lie with nothing. I like the presentation. I like the music. The voice acting is very good. I like that. This is not a musu style game. It is, but it's nowhere close to what Hyrule Warriors, Fire Emblem. No, it's not. This literally is. If you like Persona, you might like this if you don't like the turn-based situation. I kind of like, but this right here, this is not. You gotta do. See, like I said, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity that's why it made sense to do that game. It's a war. You're fighting oppositions, wars, whatever thing. Fire Emblem, same thing. Hyrule Warriors have a little more story, but you still fight it all together. This one takes a lot of persona in it. You're gonna have to mix stuff. You're gonna have to get certain items, which again, Hyrule Warriors and stuff has it, but not to the level of this. This is more RPG. You're gonna have to. All the battles are like musu style, but it's small, contained little battles. That's it. They're not so far that I've seen. Just giving you that. So far I've seen I've not seen the super grandeur style like musu games always. You versus 100. All right. All the stuff you see right here on the screen, the fighting and stuff you see on the screen, that happens in just in a section, and then you're done. Then you move on to the next. So basically, it's like Pokemon. You fight the Pokemon. You see the Pokemon. You're gonna attack it. You're gonna fight it. It turns into a musu style game. After that, it's done. Then you see that's how the interaction is. Okay. That's how interaction is. This game is not, so it's light on the musu, heavy on the persona. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, do not think this is what it's gonna be at all. That's why I say I have respect for them for doing the voice acting. This is literally like a Persona 5 expansion. It really is. I know they have Persona, they had a Persona 4, Persona Gold, and they had Persona 5 and Persona Royal. Think of this as Persona Royal Gold. It is extending the story, but this is different. This is not your Dynasty Warriors hack and slash. Going in there just doing this. No, it isn't. But you have to sneak around. You have to get certain things to do stuff. If you gotta go, you can go ahead. It's all right. I can take him if you need to. But this game is just letting people know. This game is not your typical whatever. You still gotta go around like you see right now. You still gotta buy shops and stuff like that. That doesn't happen in that does not happen in Hyrule Warriors or Zelda or Fire Emblem. All the shops are outside and whatever. You still have to do this. You still have to go to the Velvet Room. You still gotta do a lot of stuff. So just giving a heads up, guys. Persona Strikers is an extension. It is not a one-to-one like musu games are. As you can see right here, you got to do weird stuff, and that's that. So do not think of it as how Breath of the Wild is. That's all I could tell you. Do it. Lower expectation if that's what you go to. I love a good hack and slash. I love a good Musuna. Again, I've beaten Age of Calamity. I've beaten Hyrule Warriors, and almost collect everything. I've beaten.
Sorry about earlier.
It's all right. I've beaten Fire Emblem. I've beaten Fire Emblem Warriors and all that stuff. See what you see right here? You still have to do that, and then when you get into the attacks, that's when you start doing the one against 100, and then you're done, and then you moved on. It's basically RPG style. This is more RPG than anything. So that's how the gameplay is. Let you know that this is not the musu that everybody think the musu is. So do not go in there with that setup. Again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I thought, look, I will be 100% honest with you. I went into this thinking it's a musu style game. So I was thinking that, hey, I just finished Hyrule Warriors Calamity. I got Sakura Rise of War, and I said, you know what? Just a senseless go out there, beat them up, like the little story there and there, whatever. Nah, I gotta treat this as an RPG now. Like, shoot, this is RPG. This is investment time. Because I treat like Trials of Cold Steel, Trials of Mana, what an RPG, I treat games like that way more different than I treat a hack and slash or musu style game. I just do. Tales of Vesperia, any Tales game, I give it a different look into it and knowing that it's gonna be investing time doing all this stuff. And you see in the screen right here, all this stuff is you gotta collect paper. It's basically an RPG with a musu battle system. That's really what the game is. All right. You have, and then you have the fire. You have the buffs of being frozen, and again, Hyrule Warriors have that. I mean, Age of Calamity has that set up. Don't get me wrong, it has it, but not to the degree like it would be in a regular game. So just remember, when you see it on the screen right here, yeah, that's basically the battle system once you do that. But once you beat the game, once you beat that weapons and stuff like that, once you beat that, then it goes back into like you gotta go around, sneak around, do all kind of stuff, whatever. So don't let this part you see on the screen, don't let this part like you think that it is an RPG.
Should we call it a false advertisement?
I don't know, but it's an RPG.
Yeah,
it really is.
This is more of a gray area.
Yeah, it's an RPG to me. I gotta invest stuff because like I say you gotta jump walls. You got a little platforming as well. This is basically Persona itself more than anything. So,
or more like it's more Persona than
Musu.
Okay.
But it is again. So like I said, just letting people know about that. That game is whatever. And again, it is I'll keep on showing right here because it shows a little bit. You have requests. You have to get certain things. You have to level up more than what you do in Breath of the Wild. Not Breath of the Wild. I mean, in Age of Calamity, you got to go around, talk to people. Like this is an RPG. Okay, so just know this. Get into this game, okay? That's all. It's not like again, you gotta collect stuff as you can see right here. Collect stuff, level up, get like all this stuff. This is RPG, straight up RPG. You have your musu style stuff in there, and it is what it is. So, just give you a heads up on that, okay? For people out there who have it. Age of Calamity was a good game to me. Fire Emblem Warriors, good game to me, but it's not just here you go, set, go fight. No, it's you gotta go search, hide, sneak, collect stuff, collect this, collect information, do all kind of stuff. This is Persona related. So this to me is more Persona like. So I would love to have whenever I got a chance, I would love to talk to Brownie because he's into these kind of games and see what he says. This is up his alley, really, in a way. But in that regard, though, like I said, just give you a heads up on that game. Other than that, guys, like I said, this was a nice end cast right here. Remember, listen to the stuff up front. Okay, seriously, there's no laws a politician can do unless basically stop making video games totally. The parents are the problem.
If you allowed them.
Parents is the most majority of the problem is parents. We need to stop whatever because I guarantee you right now, if you
don't use your games as babysitters, parents. Just parents.
Well, here's the thing. I'll say this: if you're the law, which I am not for, but I'm just saying, if you're the law to say that until your child turns 18, whatever your child do, the parents go to jail for. So if they do something horrible, how much you want to bet? A lot of parents be like, "What the frig are you doing?" They'll be on their kids like rice on white on rice. Don't you think so, Trip?
Oh yes.
But I'm not for it. I'm not for it. But if that's the way you want to do society, that will be the only way to stop that kind of nonsense. But let's be honest about that. And two, as the other video part showed up, again, look, gaming is getting less and less what it is. It's sad to say this, but I hate to be, as Tripp said before earlier, in the opposite way he said, I don't want to be proven right, but I'm been proven right. Not once, multiple times. And I've been talking about stuff like this since 2014 when I started the channel. That's crazy. And now people are like, oh, well, really? Well, this is going to be bad. I saw that. I talked about it. Nobody wanted whatever. So again, not surprising. So with that said, yeah,
I always said, okay, two out of the three manufacturers are going in this route. You think the one that hasn't done it yet is not going to is going to stay not doing it?
of course, yeah.
They're gonna fall. They're gonna fall in too.
Yeah, Nintendo gonna fall in too. That's why look, Switch is my con. Like I said, I am buying. I already have a backup copy of a Switch. I have a Switch Lite and a Switch. I will get a Switch Pro 2, whatever they're gonna bring up, whatever if they have, if they have. But I'm going to buy me. I'm buying a lot of cartridges. I'm buying a lot of physical games. I have this. This is the first console I have. I've surpassed the Wii. I have more physical games for my Switch than I have for the Wii. As you saw, you guys know my collection of games. The reason I'm buying that, not because all the games are great, like the Mario 3D World thing, the Mario 3D All Stars. I have not played that thing. I've just got it for a reason. Why? I don't have a 60. I don't have Mario 64 for my 64. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do have Mario All Star for my GameCube. I mean, All Star Sunshine. But just being honest,
I don't have Super Mario Galaxy, so yeah.
Yeah, so I have those other games as well too. But again, those games run on a spinning disk drive. A spinning disk drive is, sadly to say, it has its faults. A cartridge.
Yep.
I still have my NES my NES. And I have games that I've gotten from back then. My Super Metroid that you guys see, I got that back in the 90s, and it still works. Still saving.
I still got
which is a miracle with a battery, but it's still saving.
I still got my Dr. Mario for the NES. Still works.
So just saying that I have that. I'm just saying. So that's why I'm buying out of physical games for my Nintendo Switch. That's gonna be my retro console. It might be the last retro console to do stuff like that. Who knows what Nintendo gonna do after the Switch 2 Pro, whatever what kind of console they'll do. I hope they keep the cartridge for them, but we don't know.
Yeah.
Because if they go digital, I'm gonna be pulling back. If to be honest with you, I'm only gonna buy maybe Nintendo games itself, and that's it. And at that point, maybe 5-10 years from now, I could go back and beat the damn games I have physically. Shit.
Yeah.
My backlog is over 100 games. So I got shit to play. So that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah. The Pokemon stuff looks cool. I'll wait until the game comes out. Don't listen to these fake people talking about, oh, I can see frames per rate, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. They're not. And it doesn't care for a turn-based game as well. 2, and last but not least, Persona 5, do not go in there thinking that it is basically a Musu style game. This is Persona Light or Persona basically to the way. Other than that, I think that's about it, sir. I think we did a good job. So with that said, you know what? I'll be just like the radio show in a way. You have any last thoughts, Mr. Tripp?
Hey, all I say is be patient, see how it goes, and if it's something you like, well, who's to say don't buy it? Unless you don't have the money for it. But yeah.
That's one. And 2, going back to what I said about like a Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, what I didn't put a video up yet, but it's gonna go up, where some call me Johnny said, don't buy this game unless or whatever. Like I said, let me explain it. You don't have to buy the game day one. But we do know Nintendo games go up in price. Check Hyrule Warriors for Switch. You'll see. Or again.
And by the way, and that's a game that is not limited like 3D All Stars. So timing is everything.
Yeah, you can wait. But I'm telling you right now, unlike what him, we already know Nintendo games does not go down in sale unless it's a sale and Nintendo put up themselves. They're going to like the most $10. Try that. But if you try to, like Johnny was saying, try to go like $35, whatever, you ain't getting that. You're not getting that. Unless and then the only way you will get that is through digital. If you want it physical, you ain't getting that. I'm saying that right now. So from that regard and how that works, remember, There's no perfect games out there. What's perfect to you is not perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect to you. Simply enjoy games on all consoles, including PCs. Y'all have a good night. Peace out.
Good night.